Have you ever planted something that looked innocent, only to realize it turned your garden into a nightmare? Some plants seem beautiful, harmless, and even tempting until they start choking your flowers, ruining your soil, or harming your pets. What you plant today could secretly destroy your garden tomorrow. Welcome back to Purely Garden, the home for every gardener who believes in growing smart, not just growing more. In today's video, we're uncovering 12 plants you should never grow in your garden, no matter how stunning they look or how cheap they are at the nursery. These are the troublemakers that can take years to remove and leave scars on your soil and your sanity. So grab your notebook, settle in, and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you love protecting your garden the smart way. Let's get started with number 1. A plant that's more of a villain than a vine. Plant number 1. English ivy. At first glance, English ivy seems like a gardener's dream, lush, green, and effortlessly elegant. It crawls beautifully along fences, walls, and trees, creating that timeless, storybook look we all admire. But beneath its charm lies a serious problem. English ivy is one of the most aggressive and invasive plants you can introduce into your garden. Once it takes root, it spreads rapidly, gripping onto everything in its path. It climbs trees and fences, suffocating them under thick, heavy mats of vines. It blocks sunlight, steals moisture, and slowly weakens whatever it clings to, even brick walls and wooden structures. And the worst part, it's almost impossible to get rid of. Even the smallest piece of root or stem left in the soil can sprout again, making removal a back-breaking battle that can last for years. Many gardeners regret ever planting it after realizing how quickly it turns from decoration to domination. If you want that same lush climbing beauty without the chaos, choose safer alternatives like creeping fig or Boston ivy. They're far easier to manage and won't destroy your garden in the process. Plant number 2, mint in open soil. Mint, fresh, fragrant, and beloved in the kitchen, is one of those plants that every gardener is tempted to grow. A few sprigs in your tea, a garnish for your dishes, and the aroma that fills the air when you brush past it. It all sounds perfect, but plant mint directly into your garden bed, and you're inviting trouble. Mint spreads aggressively through underground runners, sending out roots in every direction. Within weeks, it can overtake flower beds, crowd out vegetables, and smother smaller herbs. It doesn't respect boundaries. It simply takes over everything in its reach. Once established, mint is nearly impossible to contain. Even if you pull it up, tiny bits of root left in the soil will regrow, and before long, your garden smells like mint, whether you want it to or not. The secret to enjoying mint without the madness is confinement. Grow it in pots, containers, or raised beds with barriers that prevent root escape. You'll still enjoy its flavor and fragrance, but your garden will stay balanced, healthy, and under control. Plant number 3, bamboo. Bamboo is often admired for its tropical charm and fast growth, promising an instant privacy screen or a peaceful, zen-like garden. But what many gardeners don't realize is that bamboo is one of the most invasive plants you can ever introduce into your space. Its underground rhizomes spread with incredible speed, traveling several feet each season, quietly invading lawns, flower beds, and even neighboring properties. Within a few years, what started as a neat cluster can turn into a dense, unmanageable jungle that's nearly impossible to control. Some homeowners have discovered bamboo roots breaking through driveways, garden walls, and even plumbing pipes. It can take days of digging and years of vigilance to fully remove it, and even then, a single overlooked root can restart the invasion. If you love the graceful look of bamboo, opt for clumping varieties like Bambusa multiplex instead of the running types. Or better yet, grow it in large sealed containers. That way you get all the beauty of bamboo without letting it turn your garden into a wild, unstoppable forest. Plant number 4, morning glory. Morning glory is one of those plants that captures the heart of every gardener at first sight. Its vibrant purple, pink, and blue blooms open with the sunrise, creating a picture-perfect scene that feels straight out of a fairy tale. But behind that beauty lies a fast-growing vine that can quickly turn your garden into a tangled mess. Morning Glory spreads aggressively, wrapping itself around anything in its path, from delicate flower stems to sturdy fences. It chokes out nearby plants by blocking sunlight and stealing vital nutrients from the soil. The real danger begins when it goes to seed. Each plant can produce hundreds of seeds that remain viable in the soil for years, waiting for their chance to sprout again. Once it's in your garden, it's a battle that never ends. Even one missed seed can start a new invasion. If you love climbing plants, choose clematis or sweet pea instead. They offer the same lush, romantic blooms without taking over your space. Morning Glory may look charming, but once it settles in, it rarely lets go. Plant number 5, Wisteria. Wisteria is the picture of elegance, cascading clusters of purple and white blooms that sway gently in the breeze. It's the kind of plant that transforms any space into a romantic garden scene straight out of a painting. But don't be fooled by its beauty. Wisteria is one of the most vigorous and demanding vines you can grow, and if left unchecked, it can cause serious damage. Its woody stems grow thick and heavy over time, wrapping around trees, fences and trellises, until they collapse under its weight. It can even pry apart gutters, lift roof tiles, and strangle anything that stands in its way. Controlling Wisteria requires constant pruning and patience. It grows fast, sending shoots in every direction, and if you skip even one season of maintenance, it can take over entire sections of your garden. Removing mature wisteria is no easy task. The roots burrow deep and can regrow after cutting. If you love the graceful look of wisteria, consider planting a controlled hybrid like Wisteria frutescens, which is less aggressive, or go for flowering vines like honeysuckle or climbing roses, which offer beauty without the destruction. Wisteria may steal your heart, but it can just as easily steal your garden too. Plant number 6. Oleander. Oleander is a plant that deceives with its beauty. With its lush green leaves and clusters of vibrant pink, red or white flowers, it looks like the perfect addition to a sunny garden. But beneath that charm lies a deadly secret. Every single part of the oleander plant is toxic. The leaves, the sap, the flowers, even the smoke from burning it contain poisonous compounds known as cardiac glycosides. Just touching it can cause skin irritation, and ingesting even a small amount can be fatal to humans, pets, and wildlife alike. Despite its danger, oleander is still often planted for its drought resistance and showy appearance. But it's a risk that simply isn't worth taking, especially in homes with children or animals. Many gardeners who once admired its beauty have later regretted it after realizing the hazards it brings. There are far safer alternatives that deliver the same color and vibrancy without the danger. Try hibiscus, plumeria, or butterfly bush instead. These plants brighten your garden while keeping it safe for everyone who enjoys it. Oleander may look lovely, but its beauty comes with a deadly cost. Plant number 7. Creeping Charlie ground ivy. Creeping Charlie, also known as ground ivy, might look harmless at first with its little rounded leaves and delicate purple flowers. Many gardeners even think it's a pretty ground cover that fills in empty spaces. But this plant is one of the most stubborn and invasive weeds you can ever face. It spreads rapidly through creeping stems that root wherever they touch the soil, forming dense mats that smother grass, herbs, and flowers. Once it takes hold, it steals sunlight, moisture, and nutrients from everything around it, leaving behind a patch of lifeless ground where nothing else can grow. Trying to remove Creeping Charlie is a true test of patience. Pulling it out rarely works, because even the tiniest bit of root left behind will sprout again. It thrives in moist, shaded areas and seems to come back stronger every time you think you've gotten rid of it. The best way to fight it is through prevention. Improve sunlight and drainage, and fill those spaces with strong ground covers like creeping thyme, oregano, or ajuga instead. Those plants will give you the coverage you want without turning your garden into a battlefield. Creeping Charlie may seem small, but once it starts creeping, it never stops. Plant number 8. Japanese knotweed. Japanese knotweed might not look like a threat at first glance. With its tall, bamboo-like stems and heart-shaped leaves, it can even appear elegant. But make no mistake, this plant is a gardener's worst nightmare. It's one of the most invasive and destructive species in the world. Its underground rhizomes can grow several meters deep and spread far beyond the original planting site, breaking through concrete, foundations, driveways, and even the walls of houses. Once it establishes itself, it's almost impossible to eliminate without professional help. Even a tiny fragment of root, as small as a fingernail, can regrow into a new plant, making digging it out nearly useless. In some regions, it's so problematic that it's illegal to plant or transport it, and properties infested with knotweed can lose significant value. It smothers native plants, drains the soil, and creates an environment where almost nothing else can survive. If you ever spot it, don't try to control it yourself. Call professionals who specialize in its removal. For a similar bold, upright look without the destruction, plant ornamental grasses like miscanthus or switchgrass instead. Japanese knotweed is not just a bad choice, it's a garden disaster waiting to happen. Plant number 9. Foxglove. Foxglove is a plant that captures attention wherever it grows. Its tall spikes of bell-shaped flowers in shades of pink, purple, and white make it a favorite for cottage gardens and wildflower borders. But behind its beauty lies a very real danger. Every part of the foxglove plant, from its roots to its petals, contains toxic compounds known as digitalis glycosides. These are the same chemicals used in heart medications, but in their natural form, they can cause severe poisoning or even death if ingested. For curious children, pets, or wildlife, even a small taste can be fatal. Many gardeners underestimate how risky foxglove can be, especially when planting it near edible gardens or play areas. Handling it without gloves can irritate the skin, and the seeds spread easily, returning year after year. If you love the height and drama that foxglove brings, choose safer alternatives, like delphinium, hollyhock, or snapdragon. They offer the same striking look without the risk. Foxglove may symbolize beauty and healing in folklore, but in your garden, it's a silent danger, disguised as elegance. Plant number 10. Butterfly bush. The butterfly bush is often praised for attracting butterflies and adding vibrant color to any garden. Its tall, fragrant blooms in purple, pink, white, or blue can create a stunning focal point and make your garden feel alive with fluttering wings. But there's a hidden problem. While it lures adult butterflies, it doesn't provide the right habitat or food for their caterpillars. This means it actually disrupts the natural life cycle of local pollinators, harming the very insects it's supposed to support. In addition, butterfly bush is highly invasive in many regions. It spreads quickly through seeds, crowding out native plants that local wildlife depends on for food and shelter. Over time, this alters the ecosystem and reduces biodiversity in your garden. For gardeners who want to truly help pollinators while keeping their garden balanced, native flowering shrubs like coneflower, milkweed, or Joe Pye weed are far better choices. They provide nectar for butterflies and food for their larvae, supporting the full pollinator life cycle. Butterfly bush may be beautiful, but in the long run, it's better admired from a distance. Plant number 11. Castor bean plant. The castor bean plant is striking and exotic, with large glossy leaves and dramatic seed pods that add instant visual impact to any garden. It's the kind of plant that makes your garden look tropical and bold. But don't be fooled by its beauty. Castor beans are extremely toxic. The seeds contain ricin, one of the most poisonous naturally occurring substances in the world. Just a few seeds can be fatal if ingested by children, pets, or even wildlife. Handling the seeds or pods carelessly can also be dangerous, and there's no safe way to enjoy this plant in a typical backyard setting. Because of its high toxicity, castor bean plants are a serious liability in home gardens. Even experienced gardeners have faced emergencies after underestimating how poisonous it is. The risk far outweighs any decorative appeal, and it's not a plant you can leave unattended. If you want dramatic tropical-looking foliage, safer alternatives like cannas, elephant ears, or ornamental kale can give your garden the same wow factor without putting your family or pets in danger. Castor bean may dazzle the eye, but it's one plant you'll never want to touch. Plant number 12, privet. Privet is often planted as a hedge for privacy, thanks to its dense foliage and fast growth. At first, it seems like the perfect solution for a tidy, structured garden, but behind its neat appearance, privet is highly invasive. It spreads aggressively through berries that birds carry far and wide, allowing it to establish itself in areas you never intended. Over time, it forms thick, impenetrable thickets that crowd out native plants and disrupt local ecosystems. Its dominance can prevent other shrubs, flowers, and even trees from thriving, drastically reducing biodiversity in your garden. In addition to its ecological impact, privet is a heavy pollen producer, which can trigger allergies for you, your family, or your neighbors. Maintaining a privet hedge also requires constant pruning, as it grows rapidly and can become unmanageable if left unchecked. For a safer, more environmentally friendly hedge, consider alternatives like boxwood, native holly, or yew. These plants provide structure and greenery without the invasive behavior or health concerns. Privet may seem convenient, but its long-term consequences make it a plant to avoid in any garden. There you have it. 12 plants that may look beautiful in your garden, but each comes with hidden dangers, from invasive roots and choking vines to toxic leaves and ecological disruption. A successful garden isn't just about what you plant, but also about what you wisely avoid. Choosing the right plants today can save you years of frustration, protect your family and pets, and create a thriving, balanced garden ecosystem. If this video helped you avoid a gardening mistake, give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow gardeners, and don't forget to subscribe to Purely Garden for more tips on smart, safe, and sustainable gardening. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a video that helps your garden grow the right way. Thanks for watching, and remember, a beautiful garden starts with thoughtful choices. Avoid these 12 plants, and your garden will thank you for years to come.